Hi everyone, it's Michelle Leone for Paper Tray Ink and the latest Make It Monday episode. I am using a little technique that I like to call petite pattern play, and that uses some of the smaller tiny images from some of your larger Paper Tray Ink stamp sets. These two little florals here are an outline and a solid image from How Are You Today? And I'll be using those on my Showered with Love baby cards. Lots of little elephants and lots of different colors. I very seldom make just one version, but kind of just keep going. So obviously I've been playing with my patterns here. As you can see, I have some circular patterns, some rectangular patterns, and I'm using different colors and different tiny images from some of those larger stamp sets. So we are going to start with a couple of shapes and how I kind of line up those patterns a little bit. So I've used my noted A2 vertical as my base on my card, and I've cut out a little square shape so I can use that sort of as a frame for my little petite stamps. And I've also used the Take 3 die and a circular die to do the same technique. Now you could easily mark these out with a pencil, although sometimes I have a hard time getting that pencil mark to be gone, so I'm using my little die cut frames as sort of a helper to place my little tiny stamps. I'm using the floral images from How Are You Today, both the solid and the outline image, so it's the same. And I'm starting with my noted A2 vertical card front. So I'll be on the top left, you can see I've used the solid stamp image, and the top right I've used the outline stamp image. And I'm using my little scrap piece of paper here as a frame to place my, my 5 rows of a floral outline. And it just kind of helps me for placement. You know, as I said, you could probably mark this out with a pencil, or even use, your mini MISTI, although that's a lot of positioning here. So I'm just going to freehand it, and I'm using a smoky gray ink, which is a little bit softer than the black ink. So it's a little bit softer, and I'm freehand stamping, so it's not going to be totally perfect. But as you can see, when I come back in, I'm going to use my Micron pen to sort of fill in the blanks there. And I'm going to take away my frame, and it's pretty close. It's not exactly perfect, but not bad. And I'll use my Micron pen to sort of fill that in, so you'd never know I made a few boo-boos there. And then I'm going to come in with my Nuvo Red Berry to fill in the centers of those florals to give it a little bit of added dimension. So I'm removing my frame. I come in with my Nuvo gloss, and also a sentiment from Baby Mine, and this will say Bundle of Joy. So a few of the cards say Showered with Love, and a few of them say Bundle of Joy. So now we're going to come in with our Nuvo drops, and I'm going to sort of speed this up a little bit, filling in those smoky gray floral outlines with some Red Berry Nuvo gloss. And when I'm all finished with that, then I'll set that aside to dry. And we'll bring in our 2 swap outs. So all finished with this, with the floral centers. And as you can see up above, the Berry Sorbet florals have a black center, and the Smoky Shadow outlines have the red berry centers to sort of complement my Berry Sorbet elephants that are coming in right now. So here I'm using a Berry Sorbet A2 top fold card and a little sliver of black as my my back layer. Probably not typical baby colors, but that little skinny little black layer gives a little more definition to that A2 vertical stitched panel on front there with the floral images and the sentiment. And then we'll adhere the layered floral images on the top folding berry sorbet, and then we'll bring in a few elephants. So I've taken the Baby Mine elephants and I've stamped them, embossed, and die cut them in quite a few colors. You'll see I've also done this in some yellows and some greens and some oranges, and a purple one that didn't quite make the cut, too imperfect to show you, but it's pretty lovely in almost any color. So that's all set to go. Now we'll bring in our little elephants. So I have some Bitty Big Berry Sorbet in the tiny polka dot and then in the larger polka dot. And I've also given his eye a little bit of definition with the Nouveau Crystal Drops in Ebony Black. And I've already pre-assembled some of these little elephants so I can sort of speed up the process and put my cards together pretty quickly. So we'll adhere our little Baby Mine elephant to the front of the card. And this one's all set to go. And I have a whole series. So you'll see this same card with the outline image floral and with the solid image floral. So there's a yellow and a green and an orange. And I have a little matching tag using the quilted, the tag sale quilted die. I've used those little orange hearts there to cover up a few of my boo-boos. And those solid yellow flowers have a little bit of sparkly center there. And I've also experimented with this Best Fishes card using the little starburst image on both the Best Fishes card and the Celebrate card. So you'll see that one. That one's from Banners and Pennants. And I've used that Take 3 die to sort of help me place my images, along with a few dimensional stars from Stars and Stripes. Thanks so much for joining me for this week's Paper Tray Ink Make It Monday. I hope that you'll try this quick and easy petite pattern play technique, and we'll link up your project over at the Paper Tray Ink blog for your chance to win a $25 gift certificate. Thanks so much and have a great week.